Our next card, Roman numeral 18, the moon. The moon is a really, really interesting. I think this is one of the most interesting cards in the tarot deck. Fascinating card. So let's take a look at the symbolism of the card first. Now, with this, you have here the moon looking down at the two wolves that are baying at the moon. And then you have this lobster here that's crawling out of the water, which is a symbolism of something arising from the unconscious, because the water symbolizes your unconscious in this card. So the fact that the crab, I should say, well, it looks like a lobster crab. So the fact that that is crawling up out of the water and the two wolves that are baying at the moon, this card shows that something is rising to the surface of the unconscious. So meaning something that has been buried, that that this person that you're reading for, or you, if you're reading for yourself, if they don't want to face something, the moon can signify that. It can signify something rising to the surface. It can signify intuition, deep intuition. It can signify also great uncertainty about things. So when somebody's in a relationship with, and the moon pops up, in their tarot spread, it could mean that the other person has something buried that they don't want to tell them about, or is keeping under wraps, so there's also that. There's also the fact that the moon card signifies the dream state and dreamscape. So that can mean, again, like something buried in the unconscious, but also, dreams, psychic ability, intuition. So when I see this moon card next to, say, like the King of Cups or the Queen of Cups, or, any of like the knights, I would say that means that person does have some psychic ability, but they also might be, bearing something that they don't want to face, just in their mind. And so it's a card of great mystery, and you really have to look at all the other cards in the tarot spread to divine what that particular mystery or meaning is that the moon card is referring to. So as I said, it can have multiple meanings. That's why I find it so fascinating, because it has so many facets to the card itself, and the picture is just beautiful, and it is deeply symbolic, like all of the other major arcana cards. But I find this to be one of the most symbolic of the major arcana, simply because there is so much meaning that can be attached to it. But anyway, if any of you have questions about these cards or tutorials, please feel free to leave that in the comment section. Otherwise, that's it for the Moon Tarot card. We'll be moving on to the next card in the major arcana shortly, but I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. All right, thank you. Have a great rest of your day.